quarterfinals of the Rocket League X Games is underway. Game number 1 between NRG in blue, Gale Force in orange. And it is NRG on the assault first. Jacob just slapped away by Violent Panda off into NRG territory. And we're probably going to see slap boxing between these two all throughout the series, Fickle.
I don't think it's any coincidence that USA and NRG have the same number of letters and are both equally chantable.
There is going to be Fireburner getting this one over to Jacob. Jacob dumping this one off into the corner. And Gale Force going to look to move it out. K-Dop on the point. Turbo trying to get the pass down. K-Dop went for that himself. And Garrett able to tap that one away. That's an open net and an open goal for NRG. They strike first in the grand final.
Turbo Pulsa and K-Dop, K-Dop and Violent Panda actually running into each other in the midline really messed up the rotation there. And it really is an understatement. It literally caused them to get scored on.
Well, now NRG striking first. Can they continue down and score more on Gale Force? Will Gale Force tie this one up? We're not even a minute into this game. And Turbo and Panda moving forward. Here's Violent Panda, met by two members of NRG. K-Dop looking to keep it in play off the corner, challenged by Jacob. Jacob down the center and knocked away by Turbo Pulsa. K-Dop going to take control from midfield. K-Dop looking for Panda. Panda taps it to K-Dop, broken up by Garrett G. And now Garrett moving back again. We see it's like almost one and done. NRG or Gale Force, they're just able to catch the ball away from the opponent and force the opponent back.
NRG was used to sitting on the lead.
Oh!
Whoa, no, Jacob saved it.
Oh, there's no one back in net, and Fireburner can't get back there. That's how he does. He was battling K-Dop. It was a race to who could get there first, and Fireburner was able to maintain control of his car. And now it's still a 1-goal lead here for NRG.
It was a bit of a bang-bang play on the other side of the field where Garrett pinched it off a member of Gale Force. It ended up hitting Jacob on his backside. I don't know if it was exactly in, but it really disrupted their offense.
Turbo and K-Dop both on the assault, but Panda has to get involved to make this happen. Unfortunately for them, it's in their own zone off the ceiling. Garrett G towards the box, falling towards the net, and it's knocked away by Violent Panda to K-Dop to knock it back downfield for Gale Force. And now Garrett G, we see a physicality coming out from Jacob in the defensive zone. A shot by Turbo, turned away by Jacob. Turbo almost getting there. Here's K-Dop. He plays it slow, and it's a tie game for Gale Force.
One of the most creative shooters around. K-Dop is able to, he goes up just to get up, and then since his car is already tilted back like that, it would take more time for him to turn laterally around than to just continue to tilt back and hit it with the backside of his car. The backside of your car, I think, is the third most powerful portion of it, so it's not optimal, but it was a very, very creative way to shoot it.
K-Dop looking to get this one over to Violent Panda, and Turbo was playing the bully against Garrett G. Jacob throwing K-Dop back to his own zone. Jacob with the tap down. Can Fireburner finish? No, K-Dop is able to turn it away. Garrett G, a light tap towards the net, is sent away. So many demolitions coming out from the side of NRG. That's the 4th one so far. Violent Panda and Turbo looking to keep it in the zone. K-Dop coming up for the follow and is knocked back away. Jacob clears it. A minute 45 already. This game has flown by.
Seriously,
it's still 1-1. I just looked up at the clock and I'm like, oh, this game is almost over.
It's been so intense between these two teams. The clock just seems to go down faster as they play faster.
And NRG working to try to clear this out. Gale Force led by K-Dop coming back around the other side of the zone. Jacob clears it downfield. Turbo, a nice clear off to the corner to Panda. Uh-oh, but here comes Garrett G. K-Dop swinging back to make that save. Fireburner opting for Jacob. NRG looking to continue their assault. And Gale Force back against their own wall. Garrett G cannot find the connection there. Gale Force still forced back a little bit, but they have a lot of shots on net. 8 in total so far in the first 4 minutes and 10 seconds of this game.
Final minute between these two teams, and I really feel like the first game is going to set the pace of this series. Whomever is going to be able to take the first game of the series has so much of an advantage.
Oh, and K-Dop trying to come around. Not able to finish it up. There's a shot in the top. Turbo Pulsa 2-1. It's 37 seconds left.
If Gale Force manages to win this series, Turbo Pulsar is my MVP of the entire tournament. 100%. Turbo.
Yeah.
People are thinking, like, where did Turbo come from? He's been in the scene since the first season, but it's only recently now that he's just able to pair himself with two really, really good other players and he shines.
I was about to say, but wait, says Garrett G. Jacob, and Fireburner saved by Violent Panda. A wide angle coming around to put that shot straight onto the net. Violent Panda clears it out. 20 seconds left. Garrett G going for the tap, knocked away by Turbo. Jacob, again, knocked away by Turbo Pulsa. Turbo Pulsa getting it past every single NRG defender. Knocked away by Garrett G. Can they get this downfield and tie it up? Turbo hits it against the ramp. Garrett G can't find it. And Gale Force takes game a very close game number 1.
Man, Turbo Pulsa actually with the mistouch, keeping the ball alive, but Garrett did not take advantage of that and let the ball drop. I don't think he was even expecting to get that chance, so he might have been out of position. But Gale Force takes the first game, very close series. NRG strikes first, but Gale Force is able to come back.
And Gale Force had some solid defense, but they also, their offensive output was insane, having what, 10 shots on net during that series. So NRG only coming up with, if I'm reading this right, 5 to their 10. So NRG is definitely, if you know, as Sheeves mentions, they're the offensive giants. They're gonna need to shoot more than 5 times against this Gale Force squad in order to win.
And if you remember the goal that NRG scored, it was because K-Dop bumped Violent Panda out of the defensive rotation. So there wasn't a goal in that game for NRG that was actually created off of the offensive pressure from NRG. It was the defensive mistake from Gale Force that caused it to go in.
Right. And we said it before, you can't rely solely on defensive errors to win you a game. This one proving so, as NRG was only able to get 1 goal. We're gonna get underway with game number 2. NRG gonna look to tie the series up, and Gale Force is going to look to continue a dominant run through so many tournaments. We're gonna get this straight underway.
I don't even know where they got those little USA flags.
I don't. They come up. This is America. You can find them everywhere. Come on.
I mean, I guess we are at the X Games.
Are you saying you don't have a USA flag?
Well, I want one.
Well, oh, you want one? Well, someone get this man a flag. Turbo shooting this straight down off the face-off. Garrett clearing it out to Jacob, and Garrett taking this from midfield. Still on this ball, trying to create an offensive opportunity for NRG. Fireburner finding Jacob here, knocked away by Turbo Pulsa. And NRG finding it again in their own territory. They get these hard clear passes. A redirect by Jacob was high, and turned away by Violent Panda.
That would have classified as Jacob things, as he almost was able to sting that opportunity here. Ooh,
but it might be a calculated whiff off the crossbar. It bounces out. NRG, they were robbed by Gale Force's crossbar.
I would actually not be surprised if that was a fake from Jacob.
I mean, it could have been.
It looked intentional. Of the
he was pretty high above the ball.
Yeah,
he wasn't close to it.
I don't know. That was very, very close play from NRG, but
well, couldn't execute and could not finish, and it still results in a 0-0 scoreline. But the shots are coming out here early from NRG. They got to clear this ball out. That one dangerous. Here comes Violent Panda to Turbo. The shot under goes into the net. It's 1-0 Gale Force.
Defensive mistake here from NRG. This is one of those balls off the backboard that's very, very tough to read. It actually hit a portion of the sidewall that forces it to bounce more out than it does in. So there's 3 sections of that wall. There's the straight, and then there's the 45-degree turn, and then it turns once more. So it hit in between section 2 and section 3 and bounces outward instead of in towards the net.
Here comes Violent Panda, the dunk down into the net, but it gets blocked. K-Dop finishes. What a play by Gale Force. Not much NRG could have done, just stunned in net as Jacob.
Wow, I can't believe he actually got the touchdown on that. It didn't even seem like the hitbox of the Octane actually made contact with it, but he did. Drops it straight down for the awaiting member of Gale Force to strike, and Gale Force carrying their momentum from game 1 into game 2 with a 2-goal lead.
Garrett G and Turbo fighting in NRG's corner. Another goal potentially was knocked away by Fireburner. K-Dop looking for Turbo. Turbo just flicks that one towards his Gale Force, looks to reset. Now Jacob giving way to Garrett G. Garrett going under one, knocked away, and Fireburner trying to finish. Jacob's gonna do it for him. It's 1-2, NRG gets a goal.
I don't know how Fireburner does it every single time when it counts. Taking this contest and actually putting it in such a favorable position for Jacob to come slamming home. Excellent celebration from Jacob as well. He needs to dust off his hat after that one, though.
Down by one now. Plenty of time for NRG to get back into it here in game number 2. That's going to be a quick contest by Turbo off the ceiling. Turbo cannot finish. Panda going to try to follow up. Knocked away by Fireburner. Here's K-Dop. All he can do is knock it right into Jacob's good old hat. And now, Gale Force going to look to try to extend their lead back to 2. Garrett G and company are going to look to clear it back out towards midfield as Fireburner. He ate the dust there. We're approaching the halfway point into this game. It is 2-1. 3 shots for NRG, 5 for Gale Force so far.
This series means so much to NRG. They're finally getting them able to prove themselves in a grand finals. And we have not seen that since season 1 of any North American team. And I know it means so much for them because they just wanted the opportunity to prove themselves, and they're finding such a tough opponent in Gale Force.
Such a great play by Garrett G. It allows Jacob to almost get that goal. Fireburner's still there, but it's too slow. K-Dop was waiting for it. Jacob getting this around one defender. Can he get it set up for his team? He went for the demolition. Turbo avoids it, and Gale Force is able to clear it off downfield. 2 minutes left to go, still down by 1. Garrett G throws it against the ramp. Fireburner and Jacob waiting for an opportunity on this ball, but Garrett G gonna take the point. Again, challenged by Turbo Pulsa. And NRG's gonna have to try to play this one out yet again. A nice little tap from, did he even tap that? Just bounced off the ramp. There's K-Dop looking for Turbo, challenge. Panda coming for the shot, up high, saved by Garrett G. K-Dop not able to solidify that one, and Jacob clears it away.
Yeah. It's not done yet, though. However, NRG is managing to hold off Gale Force for the time being, but they have to get downfield and score. There's still a goal down.
Fireburner looking for Garrett downfield, but Garrett ending up rotating out back towards the net. Turbo Pulsa. Let me get that one off to the corner. NRG. Garrett to Jacob, broken up by Violent Panda, who has been so solid for Gale Force in this tournament. Flipped up NRG, playing good defensively and great goaltending. It's not enough. They need another goal as Panda looking to push it forward. Garrett G to Jacob. Gets that one downfield. NRG, a little bit of breathing room.
Jacob bailed out that lackluster clear from Garrett. Garrett is going to be the one that needs to step up for NRG as he did in the game versus Selfless, especially the last game. So he's not having too great of a performance in both of these games thus far, but there's still plenty of time.
Well, these challenges are keeping it in play for NRG. Can they get something solid onto the net? Here's Fireburner giving it to Garrett. Garrett with the shot. Here's Jacob. There's the tie game. What a team play by NRG with 24 seconds left.
Exactly what I just said. Fireburner coming off of the rotation from trying to bump somebody in the net, grabs full boost and is in the correct position. The vision for Garrett to get it to him and then Fireburner back to Garrett. Garrett takes the shot, forces both members of Gale Force to jump, and Jacob's gonna put that one in every time.
We could be heading to overtime here in game number 2 of the grand finals. Pushing down to the corner, Fireburner broken up by Violent Panda. 10 seconds left. Jacob cannot get this one away from K-Dop. K-Dop cannot really set that up for anybody. Gale Force playing this one safe, do not want to give up a regulation goal. There is no time left. This ball going to stay in the air. Jacob hitting it high, he's still up for it. Jacob knocks it down, overtime.
I was about to say, Jacob was about to pull off some ridiculous aerial, but it resets into overtime. First overtime of the series.
First overtime of the series. Violent Panda, the quick shot towards the net, knocked away by Garrett G. K-Dop rotating back on the offensive. And Garrett G just wants to stop that, but these clears straight out to midfield really haven't been favorable for NRG. Fireburner, that's a nice challenge. Jacob gonna follow up. Here comes Garrett. Garrett gets a good challenge away, but Turbo Pulsa back in net, able to clear it downfield for now. Jacob high, fighting Violent Panda for this. He gets a clean win. The shot, oh, way wide. Now, Garrett G, can he keep this in play? Here's Fireburner, the shot's just high. and it played away by K-Dop, just barely. Turbo, or excuse me, Violent Panda with a crucial follow-up.
On that double touch from Jacob, sometimes touching that ball off the wall, even if you're able to, it's not the best play because your teammate had a way better opportunity to hit that.
That was a great save by Fireburner, not Fireburner. Garrett G. That's cleared down. That's going. Turbo, he makes the save. That coming straight back to the net. Here's Fireburner, knocked away by K-Dop. Jacob in midfield, making the challenge against Violent Panda. Here comes Garrett G, but Panda keeps it in his favor. A quick shot off the back wall, turned away by Jacob. Garrett, he's got a one-on-one opportunity, but K-Dop is flying back, challenged by Violent Panda and Turbo Pulsar. A minute 30 into this overtime. It has gone back and forth. Everyone at the edge of their seats. You can feel the tensity. I'm tense, that's for sure. And NRG in the danger zone of their own territory. They got to be able to get this out if they want to win. Gale Force, they got to keep the pressure up, and NRG will crack.
Yeah, that's the story of overtime. Which team will make the first mistake?
Well, Jacob from his own corner, getting downfield. K-Dop going to Panda, and knocked in by Garrett G. Still in midfield. Fireburner, they're going to play the corners. NRG, we've seen them, they'll play the corners as long as they can. If they can get control of the map, Starview of Boost, they will eventually score on you. We're approaching about half of a regulation game in this overtime. Still no score for either team. Gale Force moving downfield. Turbo, a light shot towards the net, turned away. K-Dop and Violent Panda both going up for it. Fireburner tries to sneak it in. He cannot.
Miscommunication there from Gale Force on that attack. Both players called each other off and nobody went for it. Almost led to a ball going into their net.
Oh, this is headed against the backboard. Can he play it away? Jacob does. Crucial backboard defense. K-Dop challenged by Garrett G. But both members of NRG, both behind the midfield line. Jacob to Fireburner. This is the play they were looking for, but too light. K-Dop able to knock that one away. Garrett G content on letting the offensive pressure continue. Downfield it goes, just resetting. Jacob booms it downfield. Turbo and Panda combining to get it away, and Garrett G's the only one back and gets a nice clear downfield.
You see this sometimes in overtime where both teams are playing way safer than they normally would because they know that one mistake will cost them the game. That's literally done. Golden goal wins. So I wouldn't be surprised if this goes into 5+, 6+ minutes of overtime.
Either team just trying to find any solid opportunity. One they know for sure will go in. That's a shot right into K-Dop. Bumper. K-Dop one tap. Can he get the second tap? He's going straight under. Trying to full guarantee another shot. Jacob can't get there. And Gale Force takes a 2-0 lead in the series.
Looks like Garrett was the first one to crack there off of that defensive clear. Really needed to push that one out to the side. He was a bit afraid that K-Dop would be able to follow through on his touch, so he wanted to get to it faster rather than putting it into the corner, and that is going to be a very easy shot for Violent Panda.
NRG got the offense that they needed in that game. They just could not, they couldn't finish onto them. The backboard defense was so solid by Gale Force, and some of those shots just a little high or a little wide, and if they are, Gale Force almost every single time clears it off to the side, booms it downfield, and you just have to reset back on zone. Both of these teams have done that, and that's why you saw, what was that, 3 minutes, 30 seconds of overtime?
It was about 4 minutes.
About 4 minutes, yeah. So, you know, with that consistency, and like you said, neither team wanting to make that first mistake, those wide, long rotations back to your own side of the field, it's hard to get those passing plays going.
Yeah, coming back out of these 2 games now that NRG has lost. I said yesterday that NRG is a team to really retroactively think about what they're doing in the game and improve. They seem to improve a lot more in that game, and they came back from being down, but now they're down 2-0 in the series. So what do you have to see from NRG?
I mean, NRG, just give me more of the same. I don't think that they did much wrong there. It was a nice play at the end. There are some misclears or mistouches on their own defensive front, on the ramp, on the back wall, that allow setups from Gale Force to happen. Keep that offensive pressure up. You might be able to steal a game away from Gale Force, but right now Gale Force is looking so strong and possibly going to a 3-0 lead in this best-of-7 series. NRG looking to fight back in this grand finals at the Rocket League X Games. And now, or the X Games Rocket League, however you want to do it, a pass is knocked away quickly. Gale Force's defense just so good at breaking up those passes. In midfield, Jacob to Fireburner. Oh, cannot make the connection, just wide from Fireburner.
Man, 2 whiffs in a row from each team. A little bit of a jitters coming out into game number 3. Gale Force already took a very close overtime in that last series, so they're feeling a bit relieved. The pressure is on for NRG to get their very first game in this series, or else they are just going to lose the momentum battle to Gale Force.
Jacob demoing people on the way back. Here comes Turbo Pulsa. High off the back wall. Jacob can't find the connection. It allows K-Dop to at least make that challenge. But Garrett, met by Panda. And again, a battle in midfield for possession of the ball. We'll have another concentrated attempt, another passing attempt towards the net. K-Dop, an aggressive challenge going up for Turbo Pulsa. What a shot. 1-0 for Gale Force.
Turbo Pulsa, again, being the player that Gale Force can rely on time and time again to get the... Look how fast he got up to that ball.
And K-Dop with that aggressive challenge, that play doesn't happen without him seeing that ball's loose for just a half second. He went for it. He committed to it, and that just put a perfect setup for Turbo to get up there. And Turbo's read, like you said, was almost instantaneous. Garrett G trying to get something set up for NRG, but it is Gale Force moving back into their territory. Jacob, against his own back wall, cannot find the pick against K-Dop. K-Dop, punch from Turbo. A shot by K-Dop goes in the net. It's 2-0 Gale Force.
I'm wondering why Fireburner doesn't try to take this read off of the wall here. It actually bounces really far away from him and he doesn't commit. He must have no boost in the net there, or else he should have been able to challenge that ball off the wall.
Well, now NRG, not even a minute and a half gone, find themselves down 2-0 against what is increasingly... All right, Garrett, all right. I see you, Garrett, I see you. 1-2.
And the champs start coming out for NRG. A favorable kickoff for Garrett. Took the kickoff and got it himself and scored. A one-man army out there.
A one-man army with this face-offs. They're that favorable for you. You got to take advantage when you can. Off this one, K-Dop challenged by Jacob. NRG looking to tie this up. A quick response from them. It's all but crucial to kind of keep their heads in it. Although NRG is as stoic as any team in Rocket League. Not known for tilting. Garrett G. Fireburner ends up finding this one back to Garrett. Garrett towards the back wall, knocked away by Turbo Pulsa. Gale Force content to play those walls softly and away as they continue to rotate around. Jacob trying to disrupt those rotations. And Jacob getting those backside demolitions, but they haven't been beneficial to NRG because those demolitions are coming from someone outside of the play.
Yeah, we actually haven't seen Jacob be too involved with the offense. And as I say that, tries to go for something ridiculous there.
Well, here's Fireburner.
Normally when NRG is playing their best, Jacob is being so creative with his offensive opportunities, and we have not seen that in this series whatsoever.
Garrett high against Turbo, and that one is knocked back yet again. Another demolition, but this time on the side of Gale Force. And halfway through this game, NRG still finds themselves down 1 goal, in danger of going down 3-0 in this best-of-7 grand final series. Turbo Pulsa sending this over the middle. No one able to follow up. Covered was Garrett. Garrett now moving downfield, not able to find Jacob or Fireburner. Fireburner finds it instead off the crossbar. Garrett G cannot finish. Jacob wrapping around, getting it away from Violet Panda. Fireburner cannot find it. It's cleared away by K-Dop. Garrett G is gonna have to reset. To the other side of the field, Fireburner and company looking to move forward, looking to find that tying goal, any kind of breathing room, not wanting to go down to match point against this Gale Force squad. And right now, Gale Force is just keeping it away from them, maintaining the pressure in the offensive zone, and it's just not looking good for NRG right now.
I'm so focused on the gameplay of these two teams that I don't notice the clock dwindling down as much as it is.
This might be an opportunity for NRG. Jacob challenged there by 2 members of Gale Force. Fireburner up off the ceiling. Can Garrett G find something? He cannot back down. Gale Force, can they score another goal? Secure, cement. You'd think a 2-goal lead would just really cement the fate of NRG in this game number 3. Here's K-Dop looking for that double tap. He gets it. It's high. Can Fireburner get there? He can, but right. They're waiting. What happened on that play? Somebody clipped that online. We're going to have to take a second look because I'm not sure how that ball did not find its way into the net.
I'm fairly sure that 2 members
Garrett's
of
running
NRG
away. Garrett's running away. Garrett has a tie game. Garrett, he ran from his own end. His car's faster than yours. You can't catch him. 35 seconds left.
Jacob didn't fully demolish Violent Panda on this side of the field, but he bumped him just enough to turn his car around, and he could not get recovered fast enough, and Garrett is able to just walk the ball straight into the net. Somehow, NRG comes back into this game number 3.
And now you see them getting a little more aggressive on offense after that face-off win. Here's Jacob, but challenged there by Turbo and K-Dop. Garrett with another midfield challenge, but it is Gale Force and Panda. Turbo in waiting. Ball sailing cross field, 15 seconds left. Are we gonna see another overtime? Oh, Jacob, there's Garrett G. Can he get the top? What a challenge by Violent Panda, getting there in time. Almost no time left. Can Gale Force keep it out? This ball still in the air. Garrett slams it against the back wall. Violent Panda taking it downfield. Jacob gonna let it drop.
Smart decision there from Jacob. It's really not worth it to keep it up in your own end. And once you get the kickoff, you can have something reset.
Wait, okay. I thought he was gonna pass it back down to Fireburner. It was gonna look deadly. But NRG taking control of this. Fireburner, he took the steal! NRG wins game number 3. It's 2-1.
We just saw an overtime that went to 4 minutes, and this one is decided within the first. A bit of a mechanical mistake there from the member of Gale Force who was sitting under that ball. Turns and reads it not correctly, and Fireburner is going to say, oh, open net, easy peasy. NRG takes their first game.
That is exactly what we need to see out of NRG, and if you were going to win game 3 in any way, as far as mentality goes, going into overtime in game 2, having it last 4 minutes and losing, and then going into overtime and winning immediately, gotta feel good if you're NRG. But I don't think they need to be reminded of how good they are. They know they can compete, and Fickle waving the US flag for NRG, who are not going to go down 3-0 in the series, which probably would have been impossible to come back from, and now instead find themselves only in a 1-game deficit against this Gale Force squad.
I mean, they didn't do it convincingly, which is still worries me if I'm NRG, because they went down initially in the very beginning of that game, but then they come back in it, which maybe speaks for itself to say the tenacity of NRG is nothing to be messed with, as they reclaimed a 2-goal deficit and turned it into a win.
Yeah, absolutely. They did great, especially on both of the goals leading up into, I mean, the Garrett G running away with it, that was just cool to see, but that first goal that they got was generated by good midfield challenges that set up a passing play in the attacking third of Gale Force territory, and those passing plays down the middle of the field will get you in a position to score every single time, and the other team is going to have to rely on great goaltending to get it away.
As we see Fireburner on our screens right there, having a discussion with his teammates, seeing what they did wrong, what they did right. They still have to get more games over this Gale Force squad who is looking so intimidating. And now we are in game number 4.
And on game number 4, it is going to be Turbo dunking it down off the ground. Garrett looking to take control here. NRG and Gale Force will play this ping pong until they see someone slip up, someone lose control. And going downfield, Jacob to opt for Garrett G here. Coming back up, looking off the ceiling for Garrett. Garrett off to the corner. NRG still not able to find that first offensive opportunity. While able to boom it back downfield. That's wasn't the greatest touch. He had to get up there quickly to challenge. Jacob's already downfield. Can he get the favorable tap? He does, and then K-Dop smacks it away. Fireburner, another shot, but turned away, and it was wide by Turbo Pulsar.
Yeah, Jacob actually missing that clear on his own end about 15 seconds ago, but he turned it into an opportunity by playing very close to the defense from Gale Force. NRG already looking a lot more efficient in this 4th game.
Here is going to be almost a quick shot, but turned away to the side. And now Violent Panda going to take control. Ends up missing that second tap. That's a booming shot downfield off the back wall. Knocked away, followed up by K-Dop. There's Garrett G slamming it to the other side of Gale Force territory. And there's Violent Panda K-Dop and Turbo Pulse. That's a huge whiff. Turbo coming straight back to make up for that error. NRG, don't think they were expecting that whiff either.
Yeah, and there's no reason you should be expecting that whiff because you have to respect Gale Force as a team.
Oh, K-Dop was looking for that second tap. There's a knock away there by Jacob. Garrett G and Violent Panda fighting here. Fireburner getting up there real close. That ball close to the net. Jacob able to come back, but right now Gale Force is putting on the offense. There's Violent Panda slamming against the back wall. He gets that second tap, and that is a 1-0 lead for Gale Force in game number 4.
NRG scrambling to get back onto their own end. After Fireburner and Garrett G both pushed up to clear the ball, Garrett goes for a pinch off of the sidewall, but doesn't necessarily hit it in the correct way and forces both of them out of position, and then they're trying to get back, and they're not able to do that.
Gale Force moving and broken up quickly by NRG. Approaching the halfway point in this game, it has been a low-scoring affair. I don't think any of us are shocked by that. And no lack of trying. That's for sure. What a redirect and almost a finish by Violent Panda, or Turbo Pulse, excuse me. He could not finish that one off. Almost. NRG moving downfield. Fireburner gonna have to rely on Garrett. Turbo and Garrett gonna battle in the corner. Violent Panda coming up with it here, forcing it by. And Fireburner fighting 3 defenders for this. Jacob trying to force it through. Garrett G gonna have to keep it in play as it sails towards the box. And he just drops straight back down. But NRG, they're just waiting. They don't want to overextend and go down 2 goals to this Gale Force squad. Garrett G looking for that angle. He does find it, but that's against the back wall. Jacob rolls it under. Garrett G for Fireburner, but he's too far under the ball. Not able to find that redirect. It gets cleared downfield.
Man, Fireburner wasted so much boost trying to get that ball. He instantly went up for it, but then realized he could get it. Still went for it, and now he had to rotate all the way back out, and that's going to stop any offense from NRG.
Garrett to Fireburner broken up by Turbo Pulse. Here's Jacob. That shot going to be wide and away, but waiting is Fireburner, cutting under the ball yet again. And coming by, Garrett G has to slap it. Waiting for him was Turbo Pulsa. Now, coming is Fireburner. The shot towards the net going to be just wide. K-Dop forced back quickly as NRG still needs a goal to tie this game up. There's not a lot of time left. 1 minute and 18 seconds to go. Fireburner looking to take it out from his own corner. Looking to try to generate some more offense. The unstoppable offense has met the immovable defense of Gale Force. And Garrett G and company have only registered 1 shot on net. Less than a minute left to go. Now a second right after that statement.
It's very interesting. NRG has been playing from behind in the last 3 games of this series. The only game in which they had a lead was the very first one, and now they're just struggling. Press against the defense of Gale Force, but they're just not letting up.
Cannot find any angle, any room to work with. NRG trying to move downfield. Gale Force slamming the door shut. 30 seconds left to go. A second goal would be devastating. K-Dop drops it in. It's 2-0 Gale Force.
That might be the goal that decides this game. Still 25 seconds remaining, but it's very doubtful that if you haven't been able to create thus far in the first 4 minutes and 30 seconds, there's not a real big chance for you to get 2 goals in 25 against Force.
They got to score essentially 1 every 12 seconds. Garrett G moving downfield. Here's Jacob trying to slip under, and it's not going to get past Violent Panda. Garrett G having to quickly make a save. Turbo Pulsa in support. K-Dop with the finish off the crossbar. Violent Panda challenge. No time left. NRG does have to score with time on the clock in order to tie this up, but it will not happen. And now Gale Force takes this series to match point. It's 3-1.
Gale Force is primed to take their very first live setting victory, up 3-1 over the North American Hope NRG. And it has looked pretty convincing on the side of Gale Force.
The old sports adage goes, defense wins championships.
Very true.
And right now, defense is winning Gale Force this series. Even when NRG had a flurry of shots on net, Gale Force still won that game. In this game, NRG only had 3 shots on net.
You know, there's a very interesting discussion. If you relate this game to the old game of 7 years past, it was much faster. And now that the game has slowed down and the ball physics are slower and things are a lot more reactable, you're right. Defense is going to win you the championships because you can pretty much react to most things that are going to happen on the field after the fact. You don't have to like make some kind of like insane prediction for the most part.
Right. Yeah, and NRG, it's not that they don't have bad defense, it's just that Gale Force, the way they convert their defensive opportunities right into offense, just that's the thing too, is like their transitions are just so fluid, and next thing you know, they're downfield setting up a play either against the backboard or passing it down the middle of the field. But this is now NRG, if they want to walk away as the victors of the Rocket League X Games Invitational, they're gonna have to win the next 3 games. One more win from Gale Force will cement their victory here at the X Games. And game number 5 underway right now. Here we go. Fireburner looking to play this one in straight, but it is knocked quickly away by Gale Force. Violent Panda. Ooh, and Turbo Pulse with a great challenge, but Fireburner right there. K-Dop and Violent Panda rotating both back. It allows this play to get set up. Can K-Dop find it? Had to come from the opposite side of the corner to try to make a play there.
Oh, this ball's going to center favorably for NRG, but Gale Force actually a very rare whip from them, but Violent Panda is going to scoop that up, no problem.
And Jacob going to be able to push here. Rolling off the ceiling. Garrett G in support, looking for Jacob again, but there's 2 members of Gale Force all over these NRG players. Garrett G taps it high, looking for the second tap, but he's challenged by Violent Panda. The backboard defense has been absolutely dominant for Gale Force in this series.
And there was that one ball that was coming off of that arch of the roof we talked about behind the backboard. Turbo was up for that and instantly recognized where it was going to be. He didn't actually hit it. His teammate came out and saved him, but that alone is the skill that the defense from Gale Force is exerting.
We D-Force now, boys. Here, K-Dop trying to slip it right past 2 defenders. Now looking to just set somebody up, a challenge by Jacob. Jacob gets another favorable challenge. NRG playing a little further back. Fireburner not an optimal angle to challenge him there. K-Dop working as the point man here, flipped around by Garrett G. Garrett G running past the Gale Force defense, but Violent Panda makes it back. Fireburner, no play set up for them. It's gonna be cleared back by Gale Force. A shot just wide. Violent Panda's gonna finish 1-0 Gale Force.
It may have looked like an easy shot for Violent Panda, but there was a member of NRG streaking across right here. Fireburner actually does pre-jump this ball, but Panda puts it in such a hard place to defend that even if you did pre-jump that ball from the situation that Fireburner was in, no chance, literally 0.
Now NRG finding themselves down in the series, find themselves down in the game. And like we said, they lose this, well, they lose the championship. Violent Panda knocked away by Jacob. Here's Garrett G, goes slow, off the coast, into the net, 1-1, it's a tie game.
Will Garrett G be able to pull NRG back into this series?
It seems to always be the Jacob to Garrett G connection gets them back in. That was a great pass, a great tee by Jacob, allowing just a little bit slow, and the defense not able to get up there to challenge just in time. Now tied up, plenty of time left to go. Really, this entire series has been this close. Can NRG get downfield and take the lead in this game and force at least a game 6? Here comes Fireburner, but doesn't have any angle here. Tries to play the bully. Turbo has jumped over every single attempt of physicality from NRG. Just will not let the demolition happen.
What mechanics as well there from K-Dop. Not hitting the ball in the air, but instead landing under it and still keeping control of the ball. They just know so well how to work the ball out of their own defensive third every single time.
Garrett G getting sent out of the arena shortly, and Gale Force moving back downfield. Garrett able to play it to the corner. Here's a pass, dump off the Panda from Turbo. The shot saved by Fireburner. K-Dop gonna keep this one in play, but Fireburner has other ideas as he just booms it down to Gale Force's zone. Fireburner gonna play it slow. A huge whip is bailed by Turbo Pulse. Jacob trying to finish, but again, K-Dop comes in support to get Gale Force out of a jiffy.
I believe Axel Toss mentioned it on the desk right there. When you get robbed of that goal that Fireburner just tried to put in the manner that Turbo Pulse did it, you feel so deflated, and it's hard to come back from that. And again, a minute, 30 seconds remaining. Can NRG get the win in this series, keep them alive, or will Gale Force be your next game's Rocket League Invitational champions?
And that's a shot, the follow-up by Garrett G. There it is! It's Jacob to Garrett at the rebound. NRG takes the lead.
A little bit of a weird touch there from Jacob, following behind it just to get a touch of it, but then when the defensive member from Gale Force goes to contest it, Jacob's in the way of actually getting it cleared, and it spills out. Garrett's gonna take the shot.
A minute 18 left to go. NRG looking to force game number 6. Ooh, a very light touch down to Panda. Jacob to get up there, keep it in the corner. But Gale Force looking to move it downfield. The pass to Panda going down. There's only one man back for NRG. Jacob hits it towards midfield. K-Dop down towards the net, knocked away by Garrett G. And now Fireburner, the shot towards the net, turned away by Turbo Pulsa. 50 seconds left to go. Again, a second goal by NRG could cement a win for them. Gale Force looking for that tying goal, looking to try to finish this series out now as time still ticking down for them. Violent Panda. Garrett G getting aggressive there, all up in the face of both Turbo and Panda. A nice challenge by Fireburner keeps it in play for NRG. 25 seconds left to go. Can Gale Force get out of their own end? K-Dop, can he get it by Jacob? There is Turbo Pulsa in support here. 15 seconds now. In the third, Garrett G able to get it downfield to Fireburner, who redirects it up to the backboard. Garrett G dunks it down, an incredible save by Violent Panda. There's still time left. Violent Panda, a quick turn. Jacob on this touch. The shot is saved by Jacob. The ball's still in the air though. Off to the side. Coming around is Jacob. He gets it downfield, but the game is not over until this ball hits the ground. K-Dop keeping it up. Garrett G tapping it down. K-Dop. He's still got this ball. K-Dop coming down. Here comes Turbo Pulsa. Are you kidding me? Violent Panda, he cannot find it. Finally, NRG finishes, and we're going to game 6.
Nice composure there from NRG. Jacob scaring everybody in the arena with that touch off the backboard. Manages to backflip it out from the incoming shot, which was not very well placed. Getting away with murder in those final 3 seconds.
That's an understatement. That was absolutely incredible. We've seen time and again how players are just able to keep the ball above the ground for as long as they want. And we saw it yesterday in the Leftovers versus Rogue series. That one ending in Leftovers tying the game, and I thought we were about to have a deja vu moment as they ran back from their own side of the field after they were already there with no time on the clock. It got cleared downfield, and then they came back again. You can never count it out until that ball hits the ground in a one-goal game like this.
Well, Gale Force is still on championship point. NRG has but made a small dent in the armor that is Gale Force. They did manage to get another win on the board, but it's going to take 2 more from their side if they want to win. Gale Force is only 1 away, but that one win can sometimes be so challenging. Knowing in your head that it's just like, man, it's only 1 game, it can actually be worse to think about than knowing you have to do the entire series.
Has any team scored more than 3 goals in this series? I don't think so. I think it's been 3 or less.
A Chiefs check on me.
Yeah,
but we're gonna get
a Chiefs check.
We're gonna get into game number 5 versus NRG, the North American hope to win the X Games, and Gale Force, the European stalwarts.
And Turbo Pulsa able to recover quickly. Garrett G off the backboard. And K-Dop able to come around, but here's Jacob dunking it down into the net. NRG taking the early lead.
This is what I expect from Fireburner to do. Making contact in the net.
Finally got Turbo.
Yeah, finally was able to pin down the elusive Turbo Pulsa in net. You know, you always say to add demolitions to your gameplay, but if the other team is there's actually a skill in avoiding demolitions that is not talked about very often. Yeah. Turbo Pulsa may be just one of those undimmable players.
Well, here comes Garrett on the assault, looking for Jacob. It's up and over and in. 2-0 NRG.
I thought for sure that was actually going off the crossbar. I didn't think he'd be able to get this ball over K-Dop and in. Wow.
Up and over.
Up and over is right, man.
All of a sudden, Gale Force was kind of really dominated for most of the game, in every single game in this series so far, with NRG coming back to steal a couple, and then in the last game taking control, find themselves, hello? Panda? Hello? K-Dop? Hello? Jacob? What? No? It's not in the net? NRG's a brick wall.
I thought for sure that was going to be a Gale Force goal.
I don't know how that didn't go in the net. I had flashbacks to Jacob recovering, saving his own mistouch in game number 2. K-Dop throws that one in. It's 2-1.
Eventually, it goes in for Gale Force, but they have been getting very, very, very robbed of their goals in the previous game and in this one right here. K-Dop actually had the very nice fake into the flick dribble, and then Violent Panda puts it on net. Jacob makes the save, but it eventually goes in for Gale Force.
Now Gale Force looking to storm back to tie this quickly. It's only been a minute that's passed, and this might be our highest scoring affair of this series so far. It is game number 6. NRG down in the series 3-2. They have to continue to win after being down 3-1 in this series. But here comes Gale Force as Panda looking to get Turbo set up here. Broken up by Jacob, past K-Dop. Jacob right on top of K-Dop here. K-Dop plays it nicely and away. A quick shot, gonna be just wide against the backboard. Here's Turbo, but Fireburner already up against the back wall to knock it towards midfield. Jacob and K-Dop cross again, and here we have this battle of possession in midfield. Both trading, getting it down, and then having it cleared right away. And down 1 goal, NRG does not want to make that rotational mistake.
Ooh, very sneaky touch there from Violent Panda on his way down off of the ceiling to put it in towards NRG. NRG not fooled, however, as they left 2 members in the box there. Ooh, Jacob with a whiff. It's now going to be Gale Force's turn to attack.
Garrett G gets a nice throw over to the other side of the field. Back from Jacob, finding Fireburner. He gets it straight past K-Dop with a shot, but turned away by Turbo Pulsa. There's a dump off the Violent Panda from K-Dop. K-Dop looking to split the defense up high, challenged and knocked away by Fireburner.
Man, Fireburner came from all the way on the other side of the pitch, outside of the box to save that. Sometimes it's good to let the member coming into the rotation take that if they can be first to it.
Jacob knocking that one a little too high right up into Violent Panda. Jacob flicking this towards the middle of the field, but no one's there to get it. Garrett G back farther. And he has to flick backwards actually to get to the corner instead of it going straight to the net. Turbo down to K-Dop, but it's knocked away by Jacob. In midfield, Gale Force look to continue the assault. Pepper the goal with shots until eventually they find it, and demolitions are happening everywhere, but that ball rolls right back into their own territory. Jacob.
I'm always so dumbfounded about how much time actually goes by watching these two teams. It seems like they're not even playing for more than a minute, but we're getting down to the final minute 30.
K-Dop looking to take the pass. That's off the ceiling, and a great read by Garrett off the ceiling to clear it away, but Turbo is not intent on letting this leave the zone. K-Dop throwing it to the middle, but the only person there is Fireburner. A minute 25 left to go in this game. NRG still has the lead. Can they force game number 7 against Gale Force and possibly steal the championship away from this team who all but looked like they had it wrapped up at a 3-1 series lead?
Clearly the fan favorite Gale Force.
Oh, what a block by Garrett. Jacob taking control. He's got 3 defenders to beat. He got blocked by 1. K-Dop looking for the pick and got knocked away. Jacob just pinches it across. Gale Force. Turbo just gonna opt for K-Dop. Gets it over to Panza, but challenged away by Fireburner. Back down to Jacob. Fireburner's going downfield. Gonna have to fight Turbo off for this ball. As Turbo, very impressively, off his own back wall.
He was able to stay with that ball all the way from his own backboard and win the 50-50.
Oh, it's a dug down into the great save by 2 members of NRG. 30 seconds remaining. Fireburner trying to find Garrett. He might not need to as he still has the ball. Gets it by 2 defenders, but Turbo Pulsa ends up with it. Now, 15 seconds left. Can Gale Force tie this game up? There is almost no time left. A huge whiff. He can't get it out of the net. And Garrett G will get that goal. It is all but assured we're going to game 7.
I am in disbelief that Turbo Pulsa misses this ball. I cannot believe that.
Nerves?
Might have been something else.
Nerves? Might have been something else?
I can't explain.
I can't attribute it to anything else that I've seen from Turbo Pulse.
He was trying to get the world's biggest boomer downfield, and he just barely missed it on the clip.
And now there's no time left on the clock. If you wanted some fantastic Rocket League, guess what? We're going to Game 7 in the grand finals of the $75,000 X Games Invitational. What a crazy tournament this has been.
Every single series today has gone to 7 games. Jinx.
Double jinx. I didn't say jinx, though. It's okay. Wave the American flag all you want, Fickle. The Gale Force, again, no team scoring more than 3 goals. Fickle not gaining any fans in the crowd after that one. And NRG, they look super strong now. They have completely swung this series in their favor and are looking to steal this away after a 3-1 deficit.
As much as I want to cheer for the North American team, Gale Force also deserves this as well. They've been a dominant force in this series, and it's going to be coming down to the final game. That's ridiculous.
It's insane. I did not think that. I thought maybe the grand finals, if it was NRG and Gale Force, we would see 7 games. I didn't think NRG Selfless was going to go 7 games. I didn't think Gale Force Envious was going to go 7 games. They both did. And then we're here in the grand finals. It literally is as competitive as they could possibly make it. I hope you guys are entertained, because I know both me and Fickle have been entertained by the Rocket League we've seen today. Game number 7 is underway. This is now it. The winner of this game will be the X Games Rocket League champions.
We've seen 21 games today. I think that's...
Is that more than we saw if they won?
I almost want to say yes.
Probably. That's a quick shot turned away by Violent Panda. And getting the pass from K-Dop. Coming straight downfield. K-Dop gonna opt for Turbo. Turbo looking for the second tap. Turbo! He can't find it because Garrett G slaps it away. And Jacob looks to move it back downfield. But here is Panda and Fireburner able to knock it straight back. K-Dop high and away. No one finds this ball. Literally no one finds this ball. So it just moseys on back to midfield. And finally Turbo comes up with it. But it's slapped down by Fireburner. K-Dop off of Garrett. Good backboard defense yet again. NRG, here's Fireburner. Cannot get this by K-Dop. And Jacob forced to play merry-go-round around the box to get to that ball. K-Dop against the center. Gale Force has put 3 shots on net already, and 2 from NRG. The offense, the aggressiveness, the speed has just been upticking, and in Game 7, it is no different. Jacob to Fireburner. The shot! The goal! NRG!
I'm regretting throwing that flag behind me.
Jacob saw you throw the flag, and he's like, He's gonna talk.
It was all calculated. Except that.
Well, NRG taking the first lead in game number 7. See if they can hold on to this now. Fireburner gonna take the pass from Jacob, but broken up by Gale Force here. Violent Panda to Turbo. Turbo sailing towards the net and knocked away by Garrett G. We talked all series long about how Gale Force's backboard defense and their playing the corners had been so solid. And in these last 2 games, NRG has done exactly that. You see Garrett G up there consistently, who's always been a defensive stalwart for NRG, has come up huge in these last 2 games.
I cannot say enough about Garrett's performance in this series alone, and even on the rest of the tournament. He has been the consistent force of NRG and comes in clutch every single time they need him.
Moving downfield, NRG looking to just try to get some more goals onto the board. And Jacob stealing it away from K-Dop here as he goes off to the corner, throws it down. K-Dop cannot clear it away. Fireburner finishes it 2-0 for NRG.
Finally, we are seeing Jacob things as he runs onto the ceiling, jumps down off of it, and spikes the ball right into the box for Fireburner to clean up that mistouch from Gale Force. NRG, are they about to take 3 games in a row against these European monsters and win it all?
Garrett looking to move it downfield past Turbo Pulsa. Panda coming to back him up. Jacob has other ideas, but it's knocked away by Turbo. Fireburner in midfield. dumping that straight back down. We are more than halfway through this game. There's a setup here. Here is Violent Panda just wide and high. K-Dop forcing it by. Can Turbo finish it? It's too high. And NRG with a double commit is going to allow Panda to get a shot towards the net. That one tap is knocked away. K-Dop coming back towards the net. But nothing is going to come of it. And Gale Force, with a couple of solid opportunities, cannot finish.
Again, clock is already down to 2 minutes. In this game, where does the time go between these two teams?
Panda was able to make the save, but there's another shot off the crossbar. Turning back around, Fireburner hesitated for just a second, and it allows Gale Force to clear this ball out. There's only a minute and 42 seconds left. NRG, up by 2 goals, are looking to steal this series away from Gale Force, down 2 games earlier in this very series. Time still ticking down. Violent Panda picked off by Jacob, and off the backboard, K-Dop has to play it away and challenging it back. NRG just gonna play it off to the side. NRG doing so well, playing it away from the net. The shot turned away by Jacob. Oh, almost finding it there, but knocked away downfield. Jacob, Garrett G waiting for maybe a pass. Jacob was trying to find some. K-Dop broke it up before it could even materialize. Now to the other side of the zone, it's going to go. Gale Force has got to score. They got to get something, you think, maybe on this possession. There's almost no time left. Garrett G, a shot turned away by Turbo Pulsa. Here comes Jacob, high off of the corner and knocked away by K-Dop. Gale Force now looking like NRG in the first 3 games. They can't get it out of their own zone.
Final 45 seconds between these two teams. NRG looking poised to take this.
Jacob absolutely stuffing Turbo on that play. Violent Panda to K-Dop to Panda. The shot to Turbo, cannot find it. 30 seconds left, cleared away by NRG. Jacob demolishing Turbo Pulsa, trying to put a stake in the heart of this Gale Force squad. As time is ticking away, they have to score with time left in order to tie this game up. Here comes Panda, but it's nowhere close to the net. NRG has every single option covered. 6 seconds left, still in NRG's territory. It gets cleared downfield. Don't let them distract you from the fact that Gale Force just blew a 3-1 lead against NRG. Your X Games Rocket League Invitational $75,000 prize pool champions.
You can tell this meant so much to NRG from the way they're celebrating right now.
Look at that.
They
That's
have
awesome.
never won in a live setting before, let alone get to the finals. They actually take the championship in a very, very, very nice testament to their fortitude.
I don't have words right now. If I got to ask, like, they were like, so did you want something better? It was impossible. It was impossible to get better than what we got pretty much all weekend. There were a couple sweeps in day 1, but day 2 was so competitive. And day 3, you thought,